Okay, hi guys, it's Vicky again. I'm here with Peter Holbrook as promised, our quarterly catch-up. Well, it's been a bit more than a quarterly catch-up. We're on the fourth month because it's been a bit of a crazy month, as everyone knows.
Sure has.
We have been in the biggest political, constitutional and economic time of uncertainty the UK has ever had. Peter, how's it been in the office? How's it been for your industry, social entrepreneurs?
It's been crazy. I mean, for me personally, I love the news agenda. I like to find out what's happening in the world and think about it. So it's been kind of, for me, like I've been like almost living inside my television.
Yeah.
But for the sector more broadly, it's just posed like hundreds, if not thousands, of questions.
Yeah.
The uncertainty is breathtaking. Everyone's looking for answers, and actually, those answers don't exist right now.
Yeah.
So it's a period of mass uncertainty. We've got obviously very diverse opinions. Some people are quite pleased to see the outcome of the referendum. Some people are distraught, really upset about what this might mean for the future. So we've been trying to analyse it, trying to get opinions of lawyers, economists, of all sorts of people, just to try and make sense of it.
Yeah.
And I guess the one thing that we can all understand is that there's going to be some economic shocks,
Yeah.
and the general consensus is maybe between 5 and 8 years of difficult economic times.
And where's social enterprises at that? Are we at the back or are we at the front? Are we going to get hit the hardest?
I think what we can expect is demand's going to increase in terms of there's going to be potentially more social division. There's going to be more inequality growing across the country. There's going to be a further contraction of public services.
So it's created more issues?
It's going to create more issues.
Or is it revealing more issues?
I think both actually. It's going to reveal more issues. I think the referendum itself revealed just how generationally divided we are, and how socially divided we are, and how geographically divided we are. If you look at like London, how it voted compared to how parts of the North East voted, there's a real geographic divide. And then also I think that there are lots and lots of questions about how the economy is going to perform, which means there's going to be less investment coming into the country, which means that there's going to be bigger questions about jobs, about inflation, about pay increase, about interest rates. It's going to be difficult. But social entrepreneurs are adaptable, they're resilient, they will find a way through this.
Yeah, and I think that's I told a wide range of people that I was coming to see today, and a couple of questions that came up was
Sure.
how a social enterprise is going to be impacted by investment coming from Europe now.
Well, I think in a number of small ways. There are big social enterprises operating in international markets that have an international development focus, trying to support communities in Ghana, or in other parts of Africa, or in Asia, or India, for example.
Yeah.
They've already seen a drop in the pound affect the cost of imports by 12-15%, so they're already feeling the crunch.
Yeah.
There are other organisations working in transport, for example, that buy fuel in dollars, so they've already had a 20% increase in the cost of fuel. But more probably important for most smaller organisations in the sector is the uncertainty around what's going to happen to the European Social Fund and the European Regional Development Funds. So in parts of the country like the southwest, the northeast, the northwest and parts of the Midlands, we've seen massive investment, and particularly in Wales as well, and Scotland, huge amounts of European funding coming in to support social programmes. And lots of social enterprises have taken those structural funds and used them to create jobs, employment, training, and that looks very uncertain. And whilst many of those programmes will be replaced by the UK government, we can expect a contraction in overall funding for social programmes.
So how do social entrepreneurs or inspiring social entrepreneurs who have this idea of what they want to do, how do we prepare for that?
Well look, I think I've always said since 2008 to the community is, public service markets are going to be really, really unstable and difficult for the next few years, right? And that's going to continue now for the next 5 or 6 years. The areas where we're seeing really good growth for social entrepreneurs is selling consumer products.
Okay.
Right? So focus on trading directly with members of the public rather than trying to win government contracts.
Right.
And secondly, I would say the business-to-business market is really, really strong right now.
Okay.
I don't know whether you caught the news, but we launched in Downing Street a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
a £1 billion corporate challenge.
Yes, we talked about this before. How did that go?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, the energy, the enthusiasm, the support from both some very, very big businesses and the support of the Minister in the Cabinet Office at the time, Wilson, has really elevated it. And what we're beginning to see is, I think, the start of something that will be born here in the UK that ultimately has the potential to go global.
Okay.
This notion that businesses don't have to do all the social heavy lifting themselves. By working with social entrepreneurs and social enterprises, they can achieve a whole amount of social good just by trading with social businesses rather than trying to donate to every community project that asks for cash.
Yeah.
It's a whole new model, and I think there's some hope there.
So going back to the conversation we had last time, you mentioned that the rest of the world was looking to Britain a lot in regards to kind of policy and influences of social enterprise sector. How's that now? Do you think Britain will still be a hub for social entrepreneurship for the rest of the world, or do we now need to start looking to them to be engaged with other countries?
It's a really good question.
I know.
And I'm glad you asked
Well,
it.
good, because it just came now.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Well, look, I think I can my honest appraisal would be this agenda has gone off the boil for government.
Yeah.
Government is less interested.
Okay.
But who cares?
Yeah.
Like, we do not depend, we are not reliant on government, right?
Yeah.
Like, when I started my first social business, I didn't do it because government gave me permission to do it.
Right.
Went out there because I felt passionate about a problem that I wanted to solve. And that's not going to change.
Yeah.
So we've lost a bit of the jigsaw, but the rest of the jigsaw exists. And actually, what we've got to support our budding social entrepreneurs, our established social businesses, is good enough to get us through the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, government seems to be a little bit less interested,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that we're going to stop growing this sector, leading the world in this space. I just want government to realise that there's an opportunity and the potential here to get behind us.
Yeah.
If they don't, so what?
So what?
So what?
Some may argue that now is the time for social entrepreneurs to kind of step up.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Well, look, if I asked anybody, right, the migration crisis, global inequality, food shortages, water shortages, climate change, who is going to solve these problems?
People
right?
who care.
People who care. And in most cases, people aren't going to tell me
Yeah.
it's the government or the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
They might have a role to play, but actually ordinary citizens, social entrepreneurs, businesses are going to solve these challenges because they are the ones now that hold the massive influence over the world.
Yeah.
And therefore, businesses solving these problems is a requirement, it's a necessity. And I think that social entrepreneurs are beginning to step up. I even think mainstream businesses are beginning to show the way in this space. There are some reasons to be hopeful, there's some good practice emerging, but what we need to understand is that these challenges are so urgent.
Yeah.
This is a call to action. We need people to really step up and start getting to grips with all of the challenges we face in our communities, in our neighbourhoods, right across the world too, Vicky.
Yeah. And what about getting engaged with politics? Because not just social entrepreneurs, but a lot of citizens don't really want to touch on politics because it is a dirty game. What's your opinion on that, and how can we kind of change our mindset into playing our parts? Because clearly we need to have a bit more influence.
Politics can be a dirty game, right? But
Yeah.
to get involved in politics does not mean necessarily turning up at Whitehall or
Yeah.
Westminster or the House of Parliament.
Yeah.
Actually becoming a governor of a local school, becoming a board member of a local trust that's taken over your local park or sports ground, getting involved in local community projects is just as political as thinking about politics in that very binary Westminster sense.
Yeah.
So, as I say, politics affects everything. It affects the quality of your roads, the number of cycle paths in your area, the state of your local parks, the number of job opportunities, the litter, dog dirt, whatever it might be. It's all political.
Yeah.
And so getting involved, whatever it is in your community, is deciding to get involved in politics on some level. And I think actually it's rewarding, it can help your career, it can give you new insights, it can build you new social networks.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a selfless thing to do.
Yeah.
It's partly, but it's also the most rewarding and most brilliant thing to do.
Yeah.
And actually, it is political. You'll find it's political, so just do it.
Everything's political.
It is.
As we've learnt today. And the next, you just mentioned career and employment. It's
Yeah.
been tough enough as it is for
Yeah.
young people and millennials for the last, I don't know how many years. What now? And how do we look to go into, you know, with Brexit, some young people might think, actually, you know what, that project that I cared about helping a certain community, that has to now get put in the back burner. I need to go out there and get a job. How can we...
Well, what I'd say is, don't feel as if your only option is to go out there and get a job.
Yeah.
Muhammad Yunus is this amazing guy. He's from Bangladesh and a Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Yeah.
And he always says to me, we need a generation of job creators. And actually go out there and do it like you're doing it. Like, self-employment is now a really valid opportunity. It doesn't have to even be a lonely experience. You can get together with groups of mates and find a solution, an idea that can turn a hobby into a business. And actually, I think that with the current employment market being reasonably unstable, with salaries kind of stagnating, actually taking, you know, the bold and brave decision to find your own way in the world and try and create your own model of what it is to be a business is now a really, really great opportunity. And there's never been a better time for it. It is hard out there, but when the going gets tough, then, you know, step up, take the opportunity. Even if you start a business and it fails, you will never look back, because you will learn so much through the successes and failures that you will come out of that process, whether you succeed or fail, better equipped to face any challenge in the world. It's empowering, it's upskilling, it's the most remarkable journey, right? And once you've run a business, you never want to go back into the employment of someone else.
Okay, Peter, how can people get involved in social entrepreneurship?
What you have to realise is there's a whole community out there that is there to back you, support you, help you find the right path. So get in contact with us at Social Entrepreneurs UK. Unlimited provide grants for aspiring social entrepreneurs. There's the School for Social Entrepreneurs. There is a whole ecosystem of people that want to help you succeed. So get in touch and join the party, because it is a party. Yeah. It's great fun, as you know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's inspiring, uplifting, empowering, and feeling like you're contributing to a message of hope, rather than just accepting, you know, the misery of the world is the best antidote to what's happening currently in our challenged and upsetting world.
Very true. It's so good to always see. I love your energy, Peter. You're ambitious, and you are the epitome of what it is to be good ambition. So thank you, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.